So recently there have been a few Game of Thrones actors coming out and talking about the ending and how fans responded to it. So I just want to talk really briefly about the most recent interviews where past cast members talked about the ending of Game of Thrones and our responses. I want to start with Tywin's actor Charles Dance, who has been, I think, the most outspoken with how he didn't like the ending of Game of Thrones, so I want to read his quote. "If there was a petition, I would sign it. I mean, I saw it. I continued to watch the whole series even after I'd been killed off. Because I just thought it's a fantastic television show, you know? I was very lucky to be a part of it. I loved it. There were storylines where I wanted to know what was going to happen to these people. I know that the finale satisfied a lot of people. It also disappointed a lot of people, and I'm afraid I'm in the latter camp. I stuck with it because I wanted to know how all these storylines were going to come together. But then for it all to end up with a kind of committee, I thought, no, actually." I honestly really agree with Charles Dance. I actually really respect him too, that he is willing to be open about his opinion and not worrying, oh, am I ever going to get another job with D&D? Although he has talked about how lucky he was to get the role of Tywin being an older man. He talked about how in your 60s, your job opportunities just plummet. Okay, next. Recently, Jaime's actor Nikolaj talked about how he was thinking about donating to the petition to redo the season 8 of Game of Thrones or just the ending. So in an interview, he said, "I was aware of the petition for a new ending, which I thought was hilarious. I almost wanted to donate to the petition. HBO saying, 'You're right. So many people want it. We're going to do it.' I think everyone had their own opinion. I find the world of fandom really interesting. Everyone wanted something specific and different from what they got. It's a combination of, you imagine an ending, but also if you think you're a hardcore fan, it was really upsetting that it ended. You lived with this for 8 seasons. There is still a massive community dedicated to Game of Thrones. I think there was a real fear that was going to go away. It had to end." Also, in past interviews since the ending of Game of Thrones, Nikolaj has been very upfront. It's over, it's ended, I had great memories, I loved working on this show, but I will not go back. So, even if you wanted to film or refilm the ending season of Game of Thrones, there are so many actors that would be like, yeah, no, go fuck yourself. Interestingly, Gemma, Yara's actress, is disappointed that we were disappointed in the final season, and she thought it was absolutely brilliant. But I think that interview was from maybe a week or 2 ago. That one's not as recent. Oh, speaking of not recent though, did you guys hear about the original Night King actor thinking the end season was amazing? So he said, "Especially Game of Thrones. Everyone had their ideas on how it was going to end, with all the theories banging about for the couple of years it took to make the final season. I sensed there would be a portion of people who would be disappointed no matter what they did. But honestly, I thought it was great." And that's why you were replaced by a different Night King. Oh, by the way, Maisie Williams, in a very recent interview, reiterated that, yes, she thought the ending of Game of Thrones was amazing, she thought the ending for her character was amazing, and she just loves the whole thing. Maisie is not gonna sign that petition. Lastly, Amanda Peet, David Benioff's wife, also talked about the ending, and this is what she said in a recent interview. "I had read it, and I loved it when I read it, and I continued to stand by it. I feel like some people didn't want to say goodbye. I don't know. Look, maybe I'm just too close to it, but I didn't understand the blowback. For God's sake, people, it's a television show. For God's sakes, people. You can only be passionate about something if it makes me money. If you're passionate in a way that doesn't make my family money, fucking relax." Anyways, I think the final season was absolute horseshit. Like or subscribe. Really don't give a fuck. Fuck.